What is going on to all my Spider-Man fans out there, and welcome back to my channel, MovieFiles. In today's video, we will be breaking down Spider-Man Across the Spiderverse, as we'll be highlighting the film's plot, going over those major cameos. We will definitely be discussing that cliffhanger of an ending, and what we can expect to see next in Spider-Man Beyond the Spider-Verse, all in today's spoiler video. But first, I want to talk to y'all in the comments below. What did you all think about this film, from your favorite moments, favorite new Spider-Man, and of course, share your thoughts, your theories, and your predictions of what you all hope to see in the next film in the comment section. With that being said, we got a movie to break down. Full spoilers ahead. Let's kick things off by talking about the opening scene, which I thought was incredible, as we open on Gwen's Earth, Earth 65, where she's trying to find new friends by joining a band. Now, Gwen is looking for new friends after getting the full backstory of losing her best friend, Peter Parker, who became the Lizard on her Earth and ended up dying in battle against Gwen. Now, Miles was the only new friend she found, but obviously lost connection with him after the events of Into the Spider-Verse. We cut to an amazing action sequence where the Vulture enters her world from another dimension, as Gwen meets and fights side by side with Spider-Woman, aka Jessica Drew, in Spider-Man 2099, who let her know that the villains have popped up in different universes after the effects of them destroying the Collider and Into the Spider-Verse. Now, after defeating the Vulture, Gwen reveals her identity to her father, who's been hunting Spider-Gwen, and blames her for the death of Peter. He doesn't want to accept her identity as Spider-Gwen, which causes her to leave her universe, and after Spider-Man 2099 is guilt-tripped by Jessica Drew to let her join their Spider Society. Now, this opening sequence to me was absolutely incredible. I love the design of the Vulture, I love the action that we get in this scene, and I really did appreciate getting that backstory of Gwen and her story tying so directly into the themes of acceptance and seeing the sacrifices made to become a Spider Person, and it sets her on this interesting path for the rest of the movie. Now, checking in with our man Miles Morales, who in the past year has loved being the Spider-Man of his universe, as he has endorsements from Baby Powder, he was a guest host on Jeopardy, but with all this fame and being a hero, this is interfering with his studies and causes concern from his parents. To me, the film did such a great job of focusing on Miles' story and his family dynamic. Especially love seeing the scenes with him and his mother, who honestly at the end of the day just wanted to make sure that that little boy that she raised was staying true to himself. Now, this is where our main villain Spot comes into play, as he's on a path of revenge against Miles and wants to be his arch nemesis, because we learned that Spot was actually one of the scientists who helped build the Collider for Kingpin, and blames Miles for turning him into this monster and losing everything in his life. But unfortunately, our main hero considers him to be a villain of the week and doesn't take Spot too seriously. Now, after spending months working with the Spider Society, Gwen is tasked with bringing the Spot down because his abilities allow him to travel across the universe, which can destroy everything. Now, we see Spot traveling to different universes to find a way to recreate the Collider to gain more spots in order to become stronger. But Gwen is distracted from her mission after paying Miles a visit against the orders of Spider-Woman, as Miles follows Gwen into a portal to continue her mission without her knowledge. Now, when Spot is testing his powers, we get to see three universes, one being an old-timesy world, the next one being the universe of Venom, where we see Mrs. Chen, and then we get my personal favorite, which was the Lego universe. As we see Miles and Gwen chasing down Spot, this takes our characters to Earth 5101, where they meet Peter Parker, who is that Earth's Spider-Man, and with their help, as well as Miles, Gwen, and we get introduced to Spider-Punk, who is personally my favorite new Spider-Man in this film. As they are fighting against Spot, they end up losing the battle, and he ends up getting into that universe's Collider, which helps him grow stronger. Now, this huge battle leaves a huge destruction, as the Spider Heroes must save the civilians, and they manage to do so, as Miles is now headed to meet the leader of the Spider Society, Miguel, on Earth 928. Now, I love this entire sequence, and I'm a big fan of Spider-Punk, but the key thing to point out in this scene is Miles wasn't supposed to be there and wasn't supposed to save the police captain during this destruction, because it was considered to be a canon event, and he was meant to die. Now, canon events in this film are meant to happen for the spider people to exist. Now this is where Miles gets to meet the hundreds of different spider people, but learns the most devastating news. One of them is that he wasn't meant to be bitten by that spider back in Into the Spiderverse, which was labeled Spider 42, and was never supposed to be his universe's Spider-Man, which caused his Spider-Man to die, having a butterfly effect. But that wasn't the worst of the news, as Miles learns that his father is meant to die in 2 days by the hands of Spot. Now this scene was filled with so many Easter eggs and spider people ranging from the comics, animated series, video games, and even live action. Now in the trailer we already got the acknowledgement of the MCU Doctor Strange and Spider-Man, which were mentioned in this scene here, but the most notable cameos for me were, number one, we get to see Andrew Garfield, Tobey Maguire's Spider-Man, being seen in their moments of losing their Uncle Ben and Gwen Stacy. But the most surprising cameo came from a live-action version of the Prowler played by the one and only Donald Glover. Now, if you are familiar with Donald Glover and the Spider-Man lore, you know that Miles Morales was actually created based on Donald Glover, who at one point of his career would have loved to have played Miles Morales, but unfortunately time kind of passed through. But also, as you all know, if you're Spider-Man fans, MCU fans, he was the Prowler in Homecoming. But the question is this version from the MCU, meaning that the most recent news of the live-action Miles Morales will take place on Earth 199999, or was this another universe's Prowler? Let me know your thoughts on that, but I did love seeing that cameo. I did not expect that in the film, but let me know your thoughts in the comments below. As we see, Miles clearly won't allow his father to die, so he escapes and we get this massive chase sequence. Now we see Peter B. Parker, with the help of his newborn baby, try to stop Miles, but they have no luck in doing so, leaving Miles to not trusting him nor Gwen because they were aware of what was going to happen and they knew that he was essentially a mistake. Now Miles believes he's found a way back home by using the same machine used to send the villains back to their universes after being captured by the Spider Society, but doesn't know that it links to their individual DNAs as it sends Miles Morales to Earth 42 without his knowledge. Now we end the movie with Gwen traveling to Miles' universe, Earth 1610, and promises Miles' parents that she's going to bring him home after having her own heart-to-heart with her dad as she recruits her own Spider Society, including herself, Penny Parker, Peter B. Parker, Spider-Man Noir, and Spider-Ham. Of course, we know them from the original film, which is so great to see them in this movie, which, by the way, again, my favorite Spider-Man, new Spider-Man in this film. We also saw that he gathered stolen items from HQ to build his own multiversal watch, which would explain how Gwen was able to travel to different universes. Now, we see at this point, Spider-Man 2099, Jessica Drew, and Scarlet Spider are headed to Miles' universe to find Miles. Which, speaking of Miles, he ends up on Earth 42, where he gathers up the courage to tell what he thinks to be his mom that he's actually Spider-Man, but she's never heard of Spider-Man. As Miles is shocked to learn that his uncle is still alive, but unfortunately on this Earth his dad is dead. Now Miles ends up getting knocked out and tied on a punching bag as he's trying to convince his uncle where he's coming from, that his uncle's a good guy, that he shouldn't become the Prowler. But we learn that Uncle Aaron hasn't taken on the identity of the Prowler, but instead on Earth 42, where there is no Spider-Man because that radioactive spider was taken, as it is revealed that the Prowler is Miles Morales, and we see Miles trying to prepare himself to escape to fight against himself. What a cliffhanger of an ending, which leads us into what can we expect in Spider-Man Beyond the Spiderverse, which is slated to come out next March of 2024. Now, do we anticipate seeing the death of his dad and having that canon event actually taking place? Will Gwen and her new team manage to beat Spider-Man 2099? Or will they stop the canon event, which will end up causing their Earth to be destroyed, leaving them to finding a new home, aka bringing Miles and potentially other Spider people to follow him into the MCU universe? Or can we see Miles joining Andrew Garfield's universe, Tobey Maguire's universe? I cannot wait to find out. But again, based on the recent announcement of a live-action Miles Morales, I think it's safe to say that the way that the next film is going to end will end up bringing him into a live-action format. Let me know what you all think about that theory. Let me know what you all think about the ending, the film, favorite moments, favorite cameos, and let's talk about it in the comments below. If you all haven't already, go check out my spoiler-free thoughts on this film. Thank you for sticking around to this point in review. Before you all leave this video, do your boy a favor, consider hitting that like button, sharing this spoiler discussion, leaving your thoughts in the comments, and of course, if you haven't already, consider subscribing to the channel, hitting that notification bell. You all have been awesome. Hope you're staying safe. As you can see on the screen now, consider joining the community. Check out my spoiler-free review of this film. Check out my most recent breakdown, and we'll catch you all on the next video.